Late Night Health continues. We have, how would you guys do, a humanitarian? Wouldn't
Absolutely.
You say, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. And he is actually performing surgery while we're talking. This is not the first time that's happened to us. Dr. Ben-Talei is our guest, and we're talking about the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence. Dr. Ben does, I guess you do all kinds of facial work and reconstructive throughout the body?
I'm just a facial specialist.
A facial specialist, okay.
Yeah, and birthmarks on the body.
And birthmarks. A birthmark specialist. Does that do birthmarks bother people?
Yeah, the ones that I deal with, there's probably maybe a handful of us in the country that actually specialize in the real deal birthmarks, which are the really large hemangiomas, port wine stains, venous lymphatic malformations, ones that can kind of overtake your face. So we deal with those, and hopefully we get to the patient early on. But classic teachings in medical school tell you that this stuff can't be treated. So often we end up getting patients in their 30s and 40s who had no idea that they could be treated.
Mm-hmm. And they can be.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question. How long ago were you in school, and has the education in schools changed since you've been out?
Let's see, I was schooled back in 2004, around then.
So you're a new doc. I mean, you've had experience, there's no question. But
yeah, not too much has changed. I was actually part of the newer generation of doctors where that's when they, I went to UC San Diego for medical school, and I was at Columbia Cornell for residency. Right around that time is when they started teaching doctors the new methods of how to treat patients. So you learn how to talk to them better. You wouldn't use inappropriate words. You kind of get rid of the old school arrogance that was part of medicine.
Well, I teach patients and doctors that if I come to see Dr. Ben-Talei and you come in and say, "Hi, Mark, how are you? Let's talk about your situation," I say, "Hi, Ben." Do you like that?
I do, actually. Nobody, my last name is difficult to pronounce, even though it's 5 letters, so everyone calls me either Dr. Ben or Ben anyways.
Gotcha. And am I pronouncing your name right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Talei.
You're one of the first.
Oh, good. Where are you from? Where's the family from?
My parents are from Iran and Israel, but they moved probably in 1970 over to Indiana. And then they got out of there pretty quickly.
Oh, good. I can understand that. I'll tell you off air why. The advent of, I'm going to call it holistic health.
Sure.
How does plastic surgery work into that?
Well, there's different parts of holistic health. So holistic health, and I deal with a lot of it. There are holistic medications. There's naturopathy, which is a new field, and then you have different types of therapeutics. When I'm treating somebody, the reason I have such a high success rate is because I'm able to read people. And when people come in, they're not always looking for what they're asking for. So somebody comes in saying, this bothers me, that bothers me. It's up to me to decide if what they're saying is accurate. Is it the fact that they look tired? Is it just because their brows are low? Is it because their personality is a little depressed? I have to look at them as a person as a whole, or else...
You're looking at them as a psychiatrist.
You have to. And if you hang out in my office for one day, you'll see it is almost, and my mom's a psychologist, it is almost like being in a psychologist's office, the things we talk about. And that even goes into the domestic violence stuff. That's why we end up talking about so much. It's not just, it is slightly a gossipy office, like all plastic surgery, but you do end up talking to patients about their personal lives more than most internists do or other types of doctors for whatever reason. And partly it's because your patient base is largely female. And they confide in you to, they trust you to deal with their face. They end up trusting you with a lot of other things. And the more you have to talk about, the more they open up.
Do you find yourself talking women out of, or men out of certain types of surgery that you think may not be the best thing for them?
Yeah, all the time. And it's mainly in Beverly Hills because they've seen, 10 other doctors who, everybody has a varying opinion. Mine is very different than most. so if they've gone to 5 and all 5 have said one thing and I disagree with it, which is often,
You tell them to go down the street.
Yeah, and I try to slowly dissuade them.
Got it. We're out of time. I want people to go to our website so they can, or the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence site. Look that up, and there'll be some more information. Doctor, I'd love to have you come back. We'll talk about your practice next time. How's that?
Oh, that'd be wonderful, yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll give you a call. Hold on a second, all right? This is Late Night Health. I'm Mark-Alyn. Coming up, hour 2. If you don't get it, go to latenighthealth.com.